my house, my kitchen, and my living room looks a mess. So it's Sunday morning. I'm gonna start cleaning because I'm gonna take the kids outside later. Yeah. But this video is me talking about my best friend Sarah. Sarah Scott, I love you. My best friend Sarah, and if you see me shaking, it's because I don't know. I don't talk about my feelings, so my leg is just shaking. But my best friend Sarah, yucky. This is about my best friend Sarah and how I found her dead in her apartment on my sister's birthday in 2023. And ultimately became the foster mother of her YT autistic son, Solomon. Hi, Solomon, I love you. Yeah. So Sarah Scott, what do we know about Sarah Scott? I met Sarah Scott in Portland, Oregon. I met her there probably about a month after being in Portland. After being in Portland about a month, I was pregnant with my son, like 5 months pregnant when I met her. And she just was like such the sweetest thing, like the life of the party, such a sweetheart, such a lover, a carer, like, I don't know. She was everything. I love Sarah. So yeah, I met her when I was about 5 months. And she had just moved back to Portland herself from North Carolina. So we met when we both were she had lived in Portland before, and she left Portland and went back to North Carolina and then came back to Portland. So we had met like when we both just got there and kind of was figuring things out. She did have an abusive baby dad. So that was her reason for coming there, was to like try to get away from him and like rebuild her life and everything. Solomon's autistic. I met Solomon when he was like 1. Yeah, like when he was 1. Solomon was autistic, nonverbal. I'm gonna actually, wait, before I say that, I have to make sure I have that footage because I believe that was in my last phone. But I'm gonna actually try to incorporate pictures or videos of Solomon in this, and Sarah in this video here. So yeah, like in the beginning I was a little thrown off because Sarah was my first Caucasian friend. Like, she was my first friend that was Caucasian. Like, I've had friends from all different kinds of cultures, but I've never had a Caucasian friend. So she was my first Caucasian friend. And at first I was a little wary. Like, I was like, you know, Portland, moving to Portland, I realized how much, like, there wasn't a lot of Black people in Portland. 17% was Black people, or 7% is Black people in Portland. It might be more now because it's been 2 years since I've been there. But 7% of Black people live in Portland, and the rest of it is majority white and Asian or something else. But majority is white. Oregon back in, I don't know if I'm quoting the time right, but bear with me. Oregon back in the early 1900s to mid 1900s, they deemed themselves the white utopia. So Black people weren't allowed to live there. Although there were Black people who lived there, they moved there during like the war, and their husbands worked on the war. So the women and the children, they procreated, they stayed there until the Great Depression happened, and I believe everybody migrated out. Most people did, or they got pushed out. And for a long time, like, it just wasn't really safe or a common place for a Black person to live for a long time. Fast forward into this day and age, I got to Portland. My mom drove 4 hours to Portland from Charlotte, North Carolina. We got to Portland. We instantly fell in love with Portland. Like, we came in March, so we instantly fell in love with Portland. It was beautiful. The weather was beautiful. The flowers were beautiful. It's the Rose City, so there were roses everywhere. Weed is legal, so everybody's smoking. It's just like a vibe, like a hippie vibe. Like, we really loved it there. Once we found out about the meth and fentanyl drug problem, because not only is weed legal there, but every drug is legal there. So we got to see how that plays out for other people who do drugs, not smoke weed, but people that do drugs and stuff, like hard drugs. It was like really hard to watch and live amongst that. Like, and I'm from New York, so like, if it's hard for me, I see a crackhead. I would rather see a million crackheads than a million meth heads. Like, it's so depressing for real. But yeah, we got to Portland. We had lived in the same building or facility together with the kiddos, and we just got really close. Like, we got really close. She got close to my daughter. Like, Zion really loves Sarah, and Zion does not like a lot of people. Like, she does not like people for real. But she loved Sarah, and Sarah loved her. And they got so close. Like, and while I was pregnant for with my son, Sarah got everything from my son. Like, I really cried because when I moved into my apartment, and I had all of the stuff that she had got, like, she went crazy for Blue, like his white godmother, period. She went crazy for Blue. He had everything plus more. Like, he really had everything he needed up until the age of almost 2. Like, I didn't need to really do too much. Like, I'm talking about bottles, nipples, breast pump equipment, strollers, clothes, comforters, Pampers, shoes, the little sleeper things, hats, everything he needed, receiving blankets, washcloths, accessories, toys, development toys, like everything he needed, Sarah made sure that he had, bro. Like, and his dad was also there at the time, but we had just moved to Portland, so like, he literally got a job that next week or two. After about 2 weeks from being there, he started working, and so he was working and like trying to save up the money for the things that we needed, and he was giving me what he had at the time, but I had to do like things in portions because we had just got there and trying to find a place, and we had a car, and then the car had to get sent back, and it was just a lot going on. So we had just got there, and we were able to get like some things. Sarah really gave me a lot of resources. Portland has a lot of resources. Like, if it wasn't for the drug problem in Portland and the school problem in Portland, I would have stayed there because they have a lot of resources. It is depressing during the rainy seasons, but I don't know. It just, the drug problem and the school problem. The school problem and the drug problem, that I couldn't. It wasn't worth staying through that. So that's why I left Portland. But anyway, she got everything for my son, like everything that he needed.
Mommy,
Yes.
I want pizza.
Can you say hi to the camera? Look.
No, I want pizza.
Say hi to the camera.
No pizza.
Mwah.
I want pizza.
Okay, give me a minute. Let me finish recording this video, okay? Yeah, so we got really close. A lot happened in Portland before I moved into my apartment. Like, a lot happened in Portland before I moved to the apartment. A lot. Like, a lot happened before I moved to my apartment. But needless to say, I moved into my 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment 2 weeks before I had my son. I thugged it out in hotels and everything until I was able to move in. I was actually supposed to move in the first week of May, no, yeah, the first week of May, I was supposed to move in, but I was literally the first person to move in the apartment, and the building was not finished yet or safe for children. So it drove from May to June, then July, then August. So August, I moved in my apartment. Around this time, Sarah actually went back to North Carolina. She went to her mom, and yeah. So I'm just assuming that at that time of her going back to North Carolina, and that was around like August, I don't know. She was staying in the Appalachian Mountains in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing but meth, Coca-Cola, and freaking hillbillies. Like, that's it. And she was staying out there with Solomon, who was nonverbal and autistic, so he would scream. Solomon would scream for hours and hours and hours and hours. Like, he would just scream. He couldn't talk. So every emotion he felt, he was screaming to express it. And that was a lot for Sarah. She didn't get any sleep. It would be days before she would get sleep. She'd be up all night. She would need a break from Solomon, but his father was abusive. He was neglectful. His father lived on the streets. And he just was not stable, and he was abusive. So I would encourage Sarah, like, Sarah, just use me. Like, I will help you, but don't go back to him, because he's gonna do the same thing every time. Like, don't go back to him. I will help you. So I really I was her support system as much as I could be. I was pregnant most of the time, and then the other part of the time I had a newborn baby. So when she decided to go back to North Carolina, she went back to be with her mom, because her mom just kept saying, like, it's not safe for you there. Like, he's doing a lot. You can't trust him, Sarah. You can't trust him, Sarah. He's doing a lot, you know, whatever. So just come to North Carolina and I will help you with Solomon. Her mom was a teacher, and very old. Like, she had Sarah when she was like 50. Like, her mom was very old. And she was just like, you know, come back here. So Sarah went to North Carolina to try to escape.
Mom.
Caleb's dad followed her there, and they were stuck.
Mommy.
Yes, baby.
What's up?
I've done as best that I can, but she needed more support. So she went to North Carolina to her mom to try to get away from Solomon's father, but he followed her there. They ended up staying in a cabin in her father owned a cabin her father owned a cabin. Her father passed away, and then it went to the mother. So the mother, she was staying in the cabin up in the Appalachian Mountains, and you know, he had followed her there. There's nothing around. There's nowhere for her to go. She's stuck in the cabin with an abusive person who's a sociopath and a screaming, crying, nonverbal autistic baby. So yeah, I can only imagine. The only way for her to find friends or to whatever is to babysit the people in the town, like the local people's kids. One person, she babysat this woman's child, and she told me that the woman was a drug dealer and that she was cooking meth and fentanyl and all this stuff around the baby. And so she thought, like, oh my God, let me get the baby, you know, so while you're doing that, because the baby shouldn't be around that and whatever else. So Sarah started watching the baby for her, and then she said, like, I guess at some point she got to a point of such like loneliness and torment that she was offered something and she took it. She was there from August to about December. Yeah, it was a couple months. My father had died in October, and I was trying to get in contact with her, but up there in the mountains, they don't have good, like, you know, service as far as Wi-Fi and phone service is concerned and everything. So I kept texting her and calling her, and she would always, like, message back to me when she was able to get service and stuff like that, tell me if she's okay, send me pictures of her and so yeah.
Help.
Help.
Help, Bobby.
Help, mommy.
Help.
Help.
Help me. Go there. Go there. Help. No. Stop.
You don't like it? Super wide, super reader.
Why?
I keep picking my face because I've been on this birth control patch, and ever since I've been on this birth control patch, this part of my face breaks out like endlessly. Like it never stops unless I take the patch off. But yeah. So where was I at? Okay, what was I at? Oh yeah, she was up there for about 5 months, 4 or 5 months up there. And like I said, we would keep communication as best as we could. And when she came back from North Carolina, she came back to Portland. So my father died in October. Sarah came back in December because it was her birthday. She's a Capricorn. Her birthday is December 28th. I love you, Sarah. So yeah, she came back in December. And we got caught up. Like, she was just telling me everything that was going on up there, and you know, things that she felt like she couldn't type because Solomon's dad would see it. So she's just telling me all the things that she felt like she couldn't tell me while she was there with him. Yeah, and it was a lot. It was a lot. I emotionally was attached to Sarah. Like, I just felt like we were one and the same in a way, like that we were sisters. Like, I really feel like I'm not gonna get emotional and cry. I ain't gonna do that. But yeah, that was my sister. Like, that was my sister, period. I love Sarah. So when she came back, that was December. We caught up. She got to see Blue. I had pictures of them together, her with Blue. She was in this beautiful apartment. Like, when I came back to see her, like, there were no signs to me that she was on hardcore drugs like that. Like, there was no signs to me. We came back to visit her. She was in this beautiful apartment. It was furnished. Solomon had everything he needs. The refrigerator was always filled with food. Sarah always looked well. She always did her makeup. She always, dressed Solomon well. She always wanted to go out and like be out and do fun stuff. She hated sitting in the house. She did not like that. She suffered from ADHD as well, so she was prescribed Adderall. But there was a shortage in Portland around the time that she was supposed to get her re-up. There was a shortage in Portland, I remember that. And she was so nervous to not be able to take her medication. She had become like erratic, and just like there was mess all over the place. Sarah was a very organized person, and clutter and all those things, like, they affected her thinking and her ability to move around day to day. So she had been off of her Adderall the whole time she was up in the Appalachian Mountains, like the whole time. And the Adderalls that she did have there Solomon's dad would take a bunch of them because they're stuck in the cabin. There's nothing to do. There's nothing around. So he would take a bunch of the Adderalls and like just move the whole cabin around every time, every day. Just move the cabin around, move something new. You know, have these moments of like rage and whatever else. Like it was crazy. So that's what she was stuck in the cabin with. So I can only imagine when she came back to Portland and she felt like she was free for Solomon's dad to then come back to Portland with her. She just wanted him to stay somewhere that she wasn't, you know what I'm saying? But Sarah was so sweet and so nice that she really didn't have the backbone to say like, you're not coming here with me. She would say that, but if he'd be like, yes, I am, and like force his way to do it, she would never like stop him because she was just afraid of things that he would do to her or to Solomon. So for a long time, he would steal from Sarah, steal her money, steal her laptops, steal her iPads, steal her cell phones, steal anything he could from Sarah. He would leave for days and not come back, leave her in there with Solomon with nothing, screaming, and not come back. He was also cheating on her with men. Like, it was a lot going on. She found out when she went through the recents inside of the iPad that he was on Grindr and all this other stuff. And so it just was a lot of chaos around that. And so I told her, like, this was in January. We were talking and she was just like, I just don't want to do this cycle anymore. All right, I'll be back. Making Blue some oatmeal. No, yeah, you guys can still see me. So yeah, all that was going on. So she was gone for about 5 months. Where was I? So in January, she's telling me all the things that's going on. She's just like, I really just want to get away. Like, and she's asking me about New York, asking me like, you know, could she be safe here if she came for a domestic violence shelter or went through a program like her and Solomon? Did they have programs for autism? We were looking up all these things, and we finally put a plan together that you know, we felt like will work for us. We were going to open up an event space so that I can freely be able to sell my artistic things, my photography, whatever, but I didn't have to be locked into one specific thing. So we got an event, we were going to get an event space, but at thrifting together. Me and Sarah, we thrifted nonstop. We thrifted everything, furniture, clothes, baby stuff, whatever. We were so good at thrifting. So in the event space, we were like, wow, we could use this to also resell the things that we thrift. Yes. Let me see. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so we were like, oh, we can resell the things that we thrift here. We could also use it for outreach because we wanted to do things for the community, for other women with children, her specifically for women with autistic children, me specifically for young Black moms, whatever. And she had the credit and everything, and she was white, so she was going to use her white privilege to basically set us up so that she can help me in my career and in content creation and everything. Like, she really was a good support system for me. Even like when it came to things about what was going on in my house between me and my mom, between the kids, or my son's father and my mom or whatever, just like talking to her about everything, and she was giving me such sound advice. And, you know, not be disrespectful towards my mom because she did love my mom too, but our connection was stronger, so she always wanted to give me advice based off of who we were to each other. So it was always like real and raw and just honest, and, you know, telling me where I should be more independent and we were both the same age. Like, Sarah died at 28 years old. Like, that still is crazy to me that she died at 28 years old. Okay. So over the course of the next 3 months, from January to March, over the course of the next 3 months, from January to March, we really spent a lot of time together. My daughter spent a lot of time with her, Blue as well. Like, we really spent a lot of time together. I'm so grateful for that. It's Blue's breakfast. We got back in tune with each other. Sarah tried really hard to be a good mom for Solomon, despite the difficult circumstances of him being autistic and nonverbal. Her not having support and also trying to escape from his abusive father. It's a lot to carry. And so I would never judge Sarah for how she chose to cope with her situation, because I love her dearly and I know that she tried her best as a mom to be there for Solomon, but everybody needs help, everybody needs support, and especially in situations like that, you need like quadruple the support and the help. And if you don't have that, I could see how it would deter you away and like turn you to things that you don't usually use to cope, just so that you can have some peace of mind. So fast forward through those months, we're planning everything. We've got the location that we wanted. She wanted to live in Bed-Stuy or Williamsburg or Harlem. We had event spaces that we had collected. What do you want? What do you want?
I want this.
What?
This.
No, it's your battery. Having a toddler son must be hard, but also having a Virgo sun, Virgo moon, Sagittarius rising sign, I think it's a little harder for me. We got closer, we were planning out things, preparing for her to leave, and she was just so eager to go. She was so eager to go, like she was ready to go right now, but I was saying like, no, I have to wait a couple weeks, I have to like prepare myself to go or whatever. We should go visit, make sure you like the neighborhood, then we come back and then we prepare to leave. But she was just like, I just want to go right now. So we had planned to go a week after my sister's birthday, which is March 17th. So we had planned to go March 24th. And this was like the first week in March. Hey guys, so I'll probably be finishing this video while I take Blue on a walk. It's like 10 o'clock in the morning and he wakes up so early, like he needs to be outside between 8 to 10. He needs to be outside, so I'm walking around with him now, taking him on a walk. His dad is gonna come pick him up a little later and take him out to do like an activity or something. So I can clean up and prepare to cook, etc., etc. Today is Sunday. So I'm gonna finish off my story about Sarah. Let me see how this looks. Nah, it's not gonna work. I'm gonna finish about my story about Sarah. So yeah, where I left off at is when she came back, and from about the end of December to March 15th was the last time I spoke to her, March 15th. She came back, we got rekindled. We planned to come to New York buy a home. She was gonna get a brownstone and then rent out the whole bottom half of the brownstone to me for free, just so that I can live comfortably with my children and also be able to invest into myself. Open up a event space. Yeah, there was a bunch of little things that we just were coming together and realizing that we were so much alike and it will work so much better if we work together. So yeah, we're gonna come here together. Fast forward to March 15th. March 15th was my last day speaking to SARA. When I last spoke to her, I was actually supposed to be on my way to come see her and hang out. I believe that we were supposed to be going to get Indian food. So I was just gonna meet her at the house, leave Blue with my mom and meet her at the house and like hang out and talk. We had been together a lot, like every couple days or so, every day, every other day, 2 to 3 days the most. We were together doing fun stuff, taking the kids out, took Zion out. She took me to a bunch of resource places, get free Pampers, like a bunch of different little things. So by March 15th, we already knew that Brooklyn's birthday was coming up. So she had something special planned, and it was gonna be a surprise to everybody else. It was even a surprise to me, really. But yeah. Yo, the tripod thing, I get why. Because holding your camera like this the whole time and it's like shaking, not it. But yeah, I'm gonna wait till we get back in the park. This is a view. Sunday mornings, I love Sunday mornings because nobody is out here. So I'm gonna let you guys, when we get into the park, I will come back on to finish the story with y'all. Yeah. Hopefully there's no bums in this park because they be in here sleeping and doing all kinds of stuff. Yeah, see? Not staying here. It's another one. And who's fucking SpongeBob Squidward ass boots is them? Not playing in this park. We're gonna walk to another one. I don't do the whole bums in the park thing. I'm sorry. Maybe I've been down south too long, but I just feel like when I go to the park, it should be everything beautiful. Like, I should not see your bum ass in this fucking park where kids gotta play. Right, so yeah, we were gonna talk when we got to the park, but the park is bums in the park. And I'm not letting Blue play in the park with the bums sleeping in the park. I'm not doing it. Yeah, so we just gonna keep walking around the neighborhood, maybe find another one. Y'all, all of this is hormonal acne from the birth control patch. Why didn't nobody tell me that? Okay. Anyway, so yeah, my story with SARA. So up until March 15th, we were preparing for Brooklyn's birthday. And Sarah actually, she had a lot planned, special on her own, which would have been a surprise to me and everybody else. The fact that she had a plan wasn't a surprise to me, but actually what she was gonna do would have been a surprise. It was for all of us, but it was for Brooklyn's birthday. So March 15th, I talked to her last. That was a Thursday. And it was around 7 o'clock at night the last time I texted her, and I was like, hey Sarah, I'll be on the way. I'm gonna have Blue's father drive me by there. I'm just waiting for him to get off of work to bring me. So she didn't respond back, but I just figured like, oh, she's busy, whatever. So I end up falling asleep. Waiting for him to come get me. And when I woke up in the morning, I remember that she still didn't respond, and that was a little odd. But I thought, well, maybe she's not in Wi-Fi, or maybe, Caleb's there or something or whatever. And so I just sent her another text like, hey, I so fell asleep last night waiting for Blue's dad to get off of work, but I am available to swing by there this morning. I just want to come check on you. She didn't respond all day. And I was like, this is so weird of like Sarah to like not respond for days, unless maybe something happened with the Wi-Fi or, whatever. So I'm just like, okay. So I go to the next day. What was that? The next day, yeah. The next day was Friday. Yeah, okay, so this happened, the 15th was a Wednesday. Thursday was the next day. Huh? You finished? You want your other chips? Okay. So, yeah, basically, I'm gonna open it. I'm coming. So basically, I'm gonna set this here. So basically, that was Wednesday. So then Thursday, I tried to call her. Oh my God, back in the street, y'all. Thursday, I tried to call her and she didn't answer. So now Friday is Brooklyn's birthday. It is March 17th at this point. We had not heard from Sarah for 2 days now. So I'm just like, Ma, I'm a little concerned. Like, can we just go by Sarah's house and see what's up? Like, just knock on the door or something and make sure that she's okay and that Solomon's okay. So Mom's like, okay, like, yeah, let's go. So my mom drives over there, and I get to the door and I just hear Solomon screaming. Like, I hear Solomon screaming bloody murder. Like, he is just screaming and screaming and screaming. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe Sarah's using the bathroom, or like she's doing something and he's just screaming, because Solomon screams a lot. So I'm banging on the door, like, Sarah, like, hello, what's going on? After a while of not hearing Sarah answer back, I thought like, okay, I just don't panic. Maybe Sarah ran out to the store right quick and just did something foolish, like left Solomon in here by himself, and she went to the store, and that's why he's screaming. And she's coming back. Like, maybe it's not the worst case scenario, right? So I'm thinking of all these things that could be what's going on or whatever, and I just hear constantly Solomon screaming. So now it's probably been about 30 minutes of me banging the door down and Solomon screaming, and me just banging on the door. And now I'm saying like, Solomon, come open the door, Solomon, but he's autistic and he's nonverbal, so he can't really communicate with me. He doesn't really understand what I'm saying. And I'm just like, Solomon, like, open the door, Saul, open the door. So, I'm asking, good morning. I'm asking Saul to open the door, and he doesn't come to the door. Of course, he can't respond and all of that. So now I call the police. I call the police now, and I'm like, I'm here trying to do a welfare check. I need a welfare check because I'm knocking on the door of my friend's apartment. I haven't heard from her for 2 days, and I hear her son, who is autistic, he's inside, he's screaming, he's non-responsive, he's just screaming, and like, I need help. I need to make sure that everything's okay. Like, now I'm freaking out and I'm panicking because I just feel like I know, like, something happened, but I didn't think what happened was actually what happened. Like, I thought, oh my God, like, Caleb got in here, he didn't beat her up bad, or you know, she killed herself, or something like that. Like, I was just thinking, like, what the heck happened in a couple hours, and then within 2 days, right? Because I was supposed to be here 2 days ago. So I'm like, what's going on? I call my mom. I'm like, Mom, I called the police for a welfare check because she's not answering, but I just hear Solomon, and she's just like, oh my God, like, Sarah, what is going on? Please, like, let's just stay calm until somebody opens the door. So the police come, they open the door, and they opened the door for me to go in and do the welfare check. So me and my mom, they opened the door for us to go in and do the welfare check. So when they come to open the door, all I see is Sarah's body on the floor. Blue, purple, like cold. She looked cold. I see her on the floor. I see the paraphernalia from the drugs, like whatever she used to take the drugs and stuff. I see it on the floor in the bathroom. She was in the middle of doing her makeup, so half of her face was done with makeup and the other half was just like smudged, as if like when she started feeling herself going down, like she was still just trying to do the makeup. And Solomon, he's in there screaming. He is eating cat feces and cat food. He has soiled himself. He's been in there 2 days now with his dead mother. He's soiled himself so bad. He had on like 3 Pampers. It was just so much that was so odd about the situation. And I'm just thinking, like, what did I just walk into? Like, what did I just walk into? I was not prepared. I was not prepared to find my friend dead in her apartment with her 2-year-old son. Like, I just wasn't prepared for that. And so at that point, everything just was a mess. Hold on, Blue needs my attention. Okay, so yeah, back to the story. So of course my first thought was Caleb, and I'm just like, what did you do? Like, oh, I can't stand Caleb. And I'm just like, what did you do? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my first thought. And then second, after that, I look around and I notice that Sarah has like a bunch of stuff that her mom sent her. Okay, because she was using Wi-Fi because Caleb stole the other phone. No, she was using Wi-Fi because she had been with this guy, and the guy had the phone underneath his name. And when she thought that he was weird and she started leaving him alone, he went and cut the phone off. So she went like a couple weeks without a phone and having to use like Wi-Fi. But her mom ended up sending her iPhones and iPads for her to be able to use and have. So around this time when we came in and we saw the scene and everything that was going on, I looked around the room and I realized, like, hey, there's cases of iPads here. It was like 5 iPads there. And I know that one of the surprises that she had was to give all of us an iPad. So there were like 5 iPads there. There also was two there also were 2 iPhones there, like new, brand new, in a box, a laptop in a box. Like, there were so many things that were there that showed me that whatever happened was an accident and it wasn't purposeful. You know what I'm saying? Like, when she really thought I was coming at 7 o'clock and she went to go get high or do whatever she did, she didn't know that it would be her last time getting high, and she didn't prepare for that. She didn't prepare Solomon for that, and she did not prepare for that at all, because I know she wouldn't have had me walk into anything like that. I just know my friend. I know her. So it just looked like she wasn't prepared for that, and she didn't expect to not be on this earth after she smoked what she smoked. Now, what the officer said was that what she had seemed to be laced with fentanyl. So, of course, she overdosed on fentanyl. Do I think that she was just using fentanyl? No. Do I think that she was getting pills and, all types of stuff? Because I was able to go, when they released Solomon to me, Solomon had his iPad, had Sarah's iPad when they released Solomon to me. Hello. Thank you. Yeah, so Solomon had Sarah's iPad when they released him to me. And I had the code to the iPad and everything. And I went through her messages. I went through her pictures. I went through her videos, because I really just needed to know what the hell was going on. Like, I was so confused, and I just felt like Sarah would not have felt like I was invading her privacy. She would have wanted me to know. So I had her code, so I went through her iPad. I went through her messages on all her apps, social media, so I know all the tea. You know what I'm saying? I know Caleb. I know that what he was saying to her. I know he was threatening her. I could see the messages of what she was saying to him. I could see the messages between her and the drug dealers. I could see how much money she spent. I could see the last time she bought drugs. I could see what she asked for, and I could see what they offered her back. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I can see that. So, of course, afterwards, her mother was all the way in North Carolina, and she was damn near 80 years old. Caleb was nowhere to be found because he lives on the street and he's a bum. And she had no other siblings. She was the only child. And the one cousin that she had, they never really got along. And even after the mother died, like when she left all that money and stuff to Solomon, the cousin, she did some weird stuff. So like, Sarah really never trusted anybody, and she never had any family. So when they're sitting there looking at Solomon and they're like, well, what do we do with him? Can't he just come with you? I jumped up and I'm like, yeah, like, I know he's autistic. I know it's going to be hard, but I'm going to try my best when I have him to do my best by him for the sake of my friend Sarah, because we'll go to the park. For the sake of my friend Sarah, because I know that his father is an ass, and I know that she don't have nobody. So I'm not just going to put Solomon in foster care or anything like that, and I can try to help, So I immediately said, yes, I would take Solomon. I didn't even grieve Sarah one day before I reached out and was like, hey, I can get Solomon. I want to be able to help or whatever until you're able to find him a forever home, And if you can't find him a forever home, I will take on the responsibility of taking care of him, even if it's hard.
Wash my hands.
Okay. I don't think they have water fountain here, baby. So yeah. So I ended up being Solomon's foster mother. I am certified in the state of Oregon as a foster parent. Um, I ended up being Solomon's foster mother. It was so hard because Blue was only 3 months at the time. He's a newborn baby. And it was so hard. Not 3 months, he was about 6 months. It was so hard for me to take care of Solomon and Blue at the same time. My mom helped out. His dad helped me out as much as he could. And the kids helped out. My daughter, she really was close to Solomon. And she really did her big one with helping me with Solomon. We all tried our best. When it got to a certain point to where Blue, watch out. Oh, your Cheeto hands. Yeah, when it got to the point of where I felt like it was too much for me. I got it. Too much for me to take care of Solomon. And really it wasn't about taking care of him, but it was just like the whole system around foster care and adoptive parents is very tricky. And because Solomon's father, he was a bum, he lived out on the street, but his family came from money and he came from money. He didn't have to be, like that. He was Antifa or whatever, and he felt like he hated the government and whatever else. But he did come from money, and his family. Hi, how are you? His family came from money. So when it came to Solomon, even though they hated SARA and treated her like shit and left her in there with him for him to abuse, they jumped up so eagerly to get Solomon. I have it. Come on, where you going? Yeah, they stepped up at the last minute for Solomon. And so I'm not going to do a tug and pull with the family, especially not with no rich white folks. I'm not doing that. So if you feel like you want him and you want to take him, he's biologically yours, and I'm just going to let you do that. I feel like that low-key was the karma from SARA. Like, I'm leaving this earth and now he's your responsibility. I'm sick of this shit. Like, so I'm not going to stop interfere between you and your karma. Okay? I know my friend knows that I did the best that I could to keep Solomon. I treated him well. I loved him well. He was a lot to handle, a lot. He screamed almost all 24 hours of the day. He did not eat food. He would eat his feces. He didn't want his hair cut. A bunch of stuff. It was very difficult for Solomon, but I still tried for the sake of my friend because I love SARA and I love Solomon too. So yeah, and that's really just like, I don't know, that's who I am altogether. Blue, that's who I am altogether. I'm quick to help somebody or take somebody in or somebody's child or whatever, because that's just my personality. That's who I am at the core. But that was very difficult for me, but I did it for my friend. So rest in peace, Sarah Scott. You were born December 28th, 1995 and died March 15th, 2023 at the age of 28. Yes?
We own a power ship.
Yes, it's a power ship. You left behind a son named Solomon. Yes, a son named Solomon who is about 4 years old now, going on 5. And he's autistic and he's nonverbal. He will never know that you're not here. He will never know what it feels like to lose his mother's love. But you know what it's like to have him, and that's the best thing possible. I love you, Sarah Scott. Rest in peace. You are forever in my heart. I will forever think about you, talk about you, buy a Diet Coke for you, stand up for you and say your name anytime I can.
Betty.
Yeah, I love you. I've never met anybody like you. The only real friendship I had besides you was one that I had in high school, and you know that friendship lasted over 10 years, but you know it ended due to differences. But the only other person besides you that I've had this connection with is that person, and I just want to say that you are so special. You are so strong. That I am not judging you. That I love you, and that the world was your oyster, and you did your best to to soak it up and be in it. Your heart is so pure. There's no other person walking this earth with a heart as pure as yours. And I'm just so grateful to have experienced you and been your friend. I love you.